First of all, Nikita, you did a great job. Please give Nikita a big round of applause. You can be a full-time, leave the sales job, become a evangelical person, okay? You were good. Jokes apart, you were good. Give her a big round of applause, yaar.
So does Anurag Batra need any introduction? Well, I must say that Anurag has been an absolute doyen in the business, we all know. All these get-togethers that have happen, whether it's Businessworld or whether it's Exchange for Media, I think he's consistently done these over the last how many years, Anurag?
22 years.
22 years and relentless. I mean, I can't put to words how Anurag manages to keep in touch with people. He's flying around the country from Delhi to Bombay. Once he was, the other day he's in Delhi, today he's in Bombay. Fantastic, Anurag. And some of the lessons I think...
I have no duplicate, okay? I'm the only son of my parents, okay?
Some of the lessons I think you can bring it, you can give it to the fintech
By the way,
companies.
me and him go back long way. He was a CEO of an advertising agency, so he's my friend for almost 2 decades. And because of Exchange for Media, which is my first venture, those of you who are from marketing, advertising, media, or communication, is the #1 community for marketers, ad agencies, and communication professionals. So he's a friend of mine, and I'm filling in for Dr. S. Ravi, who's genuinely a very tall figure and a very kind person. He's the former chairman of the Bombay Stock Exchange. He's the chairman of the Tourism Finance Corporation of India. He's on the Aditya Vikram Birla board. He's on the RP Sanjeev Goenka board, and he's a very big heavyweight. So he couldn't come in. He was chairman of our jury. And, Devika said, will you get him to do it with you? I said, okay, how much money I have to pay to get it done? She said, today I'm in a good mood, you don't have to pay money. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So that's why we are doing it. But, I love what I do. I genuinely believe I'm blessed, so I don't see it as work. So I'm able to get up early in the morning to go from one city to another.
No wonder.
And second is I don't compromise on my sleep. Mostly I sleep 8 hours. So I think dreams and responsibilities and loving your job makes you do whatever. It's not a job. It's like fun. I'm getting paid to have fun. And Sunil is my friend for 25 years. He's helped me build Exchange for Media. A lot of IPs you see in Businessworld were Sunil's idea. And you do well when, I was telling Mr. Arun Samuel, who's the chairman of Wings, and he's a big entrepreneur. He has a very large company. And I was telling my friend, who's the editor of ET, he's a young friend of mine, and I met him because he was a media reporter at ET. So I met him 17, 18 years back. He just started, he's 41. So I guess I met him when he was 24, 25, and he became the editor of ET, Srutijit. And I was in Bombay, so I said to him, let's have lunch at Tajland then. So he said, I come there on a Friday because I play soccer. So I said, where do you play soccer in Bandra? So he said, at this Wings, which is Arun Samuel's thing. So, and I said to him, I know Arun Samuel, I just got to know about him 30 days back, and I said, it is the best kept secret in the advertising, marketing, media business. I don't want to give you a turnover, but it is spectacular, because I don't have the permission to do that. He's built this, and I know everybody in advertising, marketing, media. I met Mr. Alok Mehta's daughter just now, who's a Padma Shri, and somebody who's again contributed to our growth. I just met a friend's wife who was on stage. Pooja's husband is the CEO of Z News. So people like you contributed. So I was telling you, it's all about serendipity, God's kindness, whether it's Christ, Ram, Allah, whatever. And my presentation, I'm not going to talk to you about Fintech in my awards address. I'm going to talk to you about, we put too much emphasis on what we do. God is making it happen. I posted 3-4 days back that anybody who believes they are the doer are also the sufferer. And sometimes we believe.
Karta aham iti mannate.
You're Bengali, so you're very wise and you know all these things.
So we'll come to the topic quickly. And today what we'll do is, the idea is to have a helicopter view on this whole thing of keeping customer at the center and customer first. Because if the customer is not at the center, there is no hope of building trust. So, Anurag, the first question, in fact, I was having a conversation with Mr. Setu Ratnam, and we were going back about 15, 20 years, and this whole bit of customer service and the PSU banks. So I remember we were doing the rebranding of Union Bank, and the whole refrain was that the private sector banks have stolen a march on the PSU banks. When I was discussing this, Mr. Seturaman mentioned that actually things have changed a lot. The PSU banks have got their act together and they are far more customer sensitive today. So what do you think? What's your...
First of all, Mr. Seturaman has a locus standi, you're saying that, because he's been on 30 bank boards. So he clearly has he became a director in one of the PSU bank when he was 31 years old. He's 65 now. So in the last 34 years, he's been on 30 plus bank boards. So he clearly has a locus standi and knows more. But I'll give you my experience. Unfortunately, my mother passed away 8 months and 8 days back. She was 83 years, 4 months and 19 days. If she was alive on 6th June would have been her 84th birthday. And I remember last year on 6th June, I went to, my parents live in Old Gurgaon. I'm from Old Gurgaon. And I live in Delhi. I got married to a rich lady from South Delhi. I was given away in dowry, so I shifted to South Delhi. So I live with my wife and children in South Delhi, but I am from Old Gurgaon. I am a middle class boy. Now, no longer middle class, no longer boy, but, right? So I went to see my...
Everybody was as middle class as you.
No, I am very middle class. In my thinking, I am. There's no question. My friends, people who work. I don't know where is Sneha Walke. Is Sneha here outside? She must be networking. She was the head of South for 12 years at Exchange for Media, helped us build. Now she's an entrepreneur. I went and I want to tell you the story, and my father got after my life. Your KYC is not done. My father is 85. He'll be 86 soon. And my mother told him that he's come to wish me birthday. Leave him alone. Mothers are mothers, na? Right? Doesn't matter even if you're above 50. She's telling my dad last year, 6 June 2024, leave him alone. He's come to wish me happy birthday and have lunch with me. Why you're pestering him? He'll do it another day. Normally my father and mother get together on me, and I'm on the receiving end. And cut to this year, 5th June, I went to see my dad. 6th June, I didn't go this year. And me and my dad went to the State Bank of India in New Colony, anybody from Old Gurgaon. And I must tell you that the experience was very pleasant. My father believes in touch and feel, so I have to go, and I don't say no to my mom and dad for anything. Definitely not my dad anymore. And the experience was very positive. When I walked in, we asked where should I get my KYC done. They guided me. There was one person. It took me 10 minutes.
A lot of hand-holding was.
But lot of hand-holding. And I think the PSU banks have got better on 3 counts. One, because of the new government, I think the crony capitalism has reduced. Bad loans have refused. Of course, you can always say that the haircuts, not that I should be talking of haircuts, either in my life or in banking, but that's an old problem. Second is, I think today when we are talking today is, I think the 120th year, we're in Bangalore, of Canara Bank. 100 or 120th, you can Google, but it's a significant day for Canara Bank. I know it because in the early morning, I saw Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman's tweet, and originally the Canara Bank MD was supposed to come today, right? I think the banks understand that there is a touch and feel that still matters, especially if you serve an audience of people who are above 70, who are used to going to a bank, who are not like UPI savvy, so to say, right? They want touch and feel. I remember on this 5th June, I saw a person who came in and who talked to the bank and said, oh my, this was detected. Why was my, tell me. And he's asking and then the young lady who was at the counter is explaining. So I think they've got better. And the third thing they've got better is they've upgraded their infrastructure. So there is a space for people to sit. There was a tea thing. So you can't say that PSU banks are the same PSU bank. They still may have some way to go, but I think they're more humane than private sector banks. Let me say that.
They've bridged the difference.
Yes.
The second question I want to ask you is, in today's context, what's happening is a lot of things have changed. Speed of banking has transformed. The way people are accessing bank accounts, financial services have transformed. But the question we all need to ask ourselves is that, are we at this point consumer first? Because companies have escalation matrices. Companies are actually doing a lot of things to acquire customers. But Is a lot being done to manage the experience of customers? Because once a customer gets in, is the customer happy or not? Is there enough being done on that space? What do you think? Your
I
experience?
think the use of technology has much more advantages than it has a downside. The only two disadvantages I see is the impersonal nature. So if you're a senior citizen and if something more, you need an explanation. You want to talk to someone. My dad doesn't understand IVR. I mean, he studied at BITS Pilani and so on, but he likes to talk to a person, okay? Get an explanation and he's detailing oriented. So there is a lack of touch and there is cyber crime. There is cyber fraud. I have a young mentee, she runs an agency, and her mother got cheated of 44 lakhs. That's all her life savings, right? So I think the private sector banks are catching up in empathy, but they are very, very. I mean, there is a certain private sector bank which, when it got rebranded couple of years back, it said we will not charge you interest on zero balance. You know which bank? I don't want to, because it's a listed bank. I'm praising them, but I don't know how it goes, right? So there is a term called conditions apply. When you deal with private banks, and so there are lots of conditions applying. If you don't have, we'll do this and we'll do that. I think they have to get to more customer centric banking. They have to be more humane, they have to be compassionate, and there should be no conditions apply.
That one size fits all cannot work, because you launch a service, you suddenly make everything digital, and you completely forget a large section of your audience who are actually not used to technology. So recently, Anurag, I think it was 15 days back, there was an article in the Economic Times where the RBI governor has spoken intensively about mis-selling and misappropriation. So a lot of things, in spite of low cost of funds, high interest rates are charged, and a lot of people in the finance, in the NBFC space. In the insurance sector, what's happening is that elderly, their insurance premiums are almost double when compared to the other insurance premiums. So I think RBI came with a mandate to say that it should be capped at 10 to 15% more. And there was actually a complaint. RBI governor is saying that there's an increase of 33% in consumer complaints. So what is your, you deal with, you have friends in fintech, you have so many partners in the industry. What's your experience? Are we really becoming consumer first, or there's some?
I think you can't survive if you're not consumer first. If you're surviving, there may be learning comes for some products. I don't think the intent of fintechs or banks is to be able to fleece. That's my understanding by and large of most players. In every business, there may be one or two players that may want to make a fuss. But by and large, and we live in a world where everything is very traceable, comparable, and there are too many options. So if you aren't that efficient, then the consumer will go. And I want to give, he's an awardee in the evening, and I met him in the flight, and he explained to me what they do. And luckily, flight is the best time when you get with people. And Deepak Arwal of Moneybox was me, and he said they cater to the rural sector. So a driver who's taken 1 lakh, so they are between MFI, which is 30,000-40,000 rupees of loan. Banks who do 10, so they're somewhere 2 to 4 lakhs. He explained to me, I hope I'm articulating it right. And he said, my driver, who I pay 20,000-25,000, would want money on the 16th, 18th. And I said, why do you want it every month? He said, I have a 1 lakh loan where I'm paying 36%. So I'm only returning, I'm servicing the interest. So he said, I will get you an 18% loan. I will keep your papers. And he was able to return. Then he brought another person. So he saw an opportunity. Yeah. And then he, the cattle stock is a big livelihood and hence an asset. So he expanded. So I think there are lots of people who are seeing pain points and they're building products or services catered to serving those pain points. This is one example. In the fintech, there are many sweet spots. There are many subsectors. Early salary is now something called something else. That company, they were winners in our four BW40 under 40 4 or 5 years back in COVID or just before COVID, right? So I think there are different pain points or problems which people are addressing. And by and large, the founder's intent is not. There's a learning curve. And today, if you're a company in the digital domain or in any domain, you have to be very responsive. If something is not working, and people have social media, if you detect money, they'll go, tag you, and so you have to be very, very sensitive and transparent and competitive, because there are too many. Even within a sub segment there are 10 players, 5 players, 6 players. So if you don't do something, like there is a broking app which said no broking fees, right? We only charge you when we make money. And see what they did with themselves. Correct. So clearly, if you're able to show confidence in what you do and give a differentiated product, which first creates the win for the consumer and then for the company, you're here to stay for long.
Excellent. One last question.
How did I lose dealing with that people from advertising and media? Your friends.
Yeah. So, from your experience of running a company and for so many years, and you've been having these conversations with various clients, you're constantly in touch. What is the one lesson that you would give to fintech companies, especially companies?
I don't think I can take people like Deepak Agarwal anything. Honest, it's an honest. I have to learn from them. I'm using Deepak because I met him. I don't think I can teach them anything. I swear, I feel I can learn from them. And I genuinely believe I know some things I blessed, we are doing something, it's working. But I genuinely believe I have to learn from them. And I wrote this piece many, many years back on reverse mentoring. And I had reverse mentors who were 19 years old, Ashish Brigi, my many friends. Sunil is my friend, he's an entrepreneur who has helped me build E4M. And I think you have to learn from these people because, for example, 5-6 years back, if somebody came to me with an idea, I used to say, nahi chalega, ye to hoga hi nahi. I don't know what will work, what will not work. And they say, you don't even know what you don't know. Correct. I mean, somebody would have said to the Uber founder, this won't happen. Right? I remember there is this guy who's the founder of Keto. His name is Varun, Punjabi name second. He was interviewed in Business Standard last year, and he said, Annurag Batra passed me for funding. I didn't understand what is crowdfunding for social impact. I didn't. I said, ये कैसे चलेगा? लोग देंगे पैसे. So it's my ignorance. So I want to learn from them. I don't think I can teach. And I hope you don't learn anything from us and blame it on me. Okay? There's nothing I can teach you. Okay? I can only teach you that have a good lifestyle so that you don't lose hair, have less stress, don't work in the media sector. Pooja, maybe Karan, you should get him a new hair nurturing thing. He now works as a CEO of a large media company. So I don't know what I can tell them, but stay curious. And be humble. Those are the two things I can do. We are in a collaborative work. Fintech is a collab. And experiment. We don't know what will work, what. So they know all these things. Fact they've been able to come here, I don't think I can teach them anything.
So we'll conclude by saying that great things are happening in the fintech space, and I think the intent is all there. But more we have conversations, with the customer, the more we are actually equipped to kind of step in at the right time. And I wish the fintech industry grows in strength, and hopefully with enhanced customer focus and customer first attitude, the entire industry will be able to build a great digital India by 2047. Thank you, Annurag. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I just want to say that thank you for doing this. And you turned an entrepreneur a couple of years back. I'm sure you're doing well. And he's a very prolific writer. And he writes apart from business, on spirituality. So I can only say that he sends me his pieces. Mostly I've seen them before he sends, because in the morning I spend 2 hours reading the newspapers and I also run sessions in organizations. Yes. So Arijit runs something called the Unlock Company, which is in some way doing interventions and helping leaders and individuals, entrepreneurs within the companies unlock value and so on and so forth. So give Arijit a big round of applause. Thank you.